Hey guys, in this video we're gonna learn how to craft the perfect customer success story to boost your sales. Now, my goal for this video is that you walk out of this video and you ditch that typical product pitch and you replace it by more powerful, but more subtle customer success stories. How does that sound? All right, what are the things that we're gonna focus on? We're gonna focus on 4 things. First, we're gonna talk about why doesn't it even matter? Who cares anyway, right? Second, you'll hear a real life example of a customer success story. How does it look? Third, we're gonna focus on what are the 4 steps that make any customer success story great. So what structure can you use? And then the last one is, what are the 3 elements of great storytelling? But before we dive right into it, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now, why does it even matter, right? Why should you bother to tell these customer success stories? Well, we, as human beings, we are social animals. Anytime that we need to make a decision, we ask ourselves, how would someone else decide in this situation? This is why we go on Amazon before we make any purchase. This is why we go on Google Maps before we go into a restaurant. We care so much about the opinion of strangers in the internet than really following our own intuition. And the same thing applies for your sales conversation. When you pitch your idea or your service or your product, your customer is thinking, how would someone else decide in that situation? Would they actually go with you? And in that moment, you want to have a customer success story. And what is a customer success story? Customer success story is a real life example of how you helped a customer overcome a major pain point and achieve this desired result. Let me give you an example of a customer success story so it's very clear what we're talking about here, all right? May 2022, I was in my apartment in Amsterdam when I got a call from Julia. Julia was this account executive at this large multinational database provider. Immediately jumping in, Julia said, Philipp, this is bad, this is really bad. This month, I think I've called 52 qualified leads and I've only closed 2 of the deals. That's bad. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but every single time they tell me that we're too expensive. When she told me that, I asked her a little bit more how she responded in these situations. To which she said that usually she just then tries to persuade them why they're pretty much making a mistake, right? That they are indeed the best database provider, that they can help reduce the operational costs, that they can help scale the business. And when she told me that, I looked at her and I said, Julia, I know you're interested in politics, right? Now, imagine you had to persuade someone of the complete opposite camp. You use bulletproof facts, flawless logic, and the best arguments in the world. Do you think that you would actually persuade that other person? Probably not, right? Now, why not? Because decision-making is often not logical, but emotional. If you want to persuade someone, you got to appeal to the emotions. You got to share a story. 2 days later, Julia and I met for a 2-hour virtual coaching session. In that session, we crafted 4 stories, 2 to pitch your product and 2 to overcome objections. What we also did, we looked at what structure can she use and also how to tell any story in a more engaging way. A month later, I got a call from Julia, again in my apartment here in Amsterdam. And she said, Philipp, this is crazy. This month, I've closed now just my 11th deal. Philipp, when can we see each other again? If we can get this done in a 2-hour session, what can we do with more time together? Now, that as an example of a customer success story. So how could you craft a story like that? Let me quickly walk you through the 4-step story structure to craft powerful success stories. So 4 steps: context, challenge, response, and result. Context. Context, it's about giving rough context, setting the scene. Where and when does it take place? Who's the main character? And maybe what does the character want? Context, it's a very, very brief section. 2 or 3 sentences, that's usually enough. Second step, challenge. What is the challenge, the pain point, the struggle that your customer was facing before meeting you? Now, this is the part where you go deep into the emotions. This is where you let us know how the customer felt. Challenge is the most crucial part of any story. This is the part where you want to go big. Third step, response. Now, after you've introduced this mega big challenge, how does the customer respond to that challenge? What actions, reactions, decisions do they take to overcome that challenge? Now here it's important to show your contribution, right? How did your product or service help that customer overcome that problem? And last step, result. After your customer's taken all that massive action to overcome the challenge, what is the result? What is the outcome? How is their lives transformed? How do they feel at the end? Now, these are the 4 steps of any powerful customer success story. Just to recap. First step, context. Second step, challenge. Third, response. And fourth, result. Now, with that clear, let's look into what are some of the elements. What are the 3 elements of great customer success stories? First element, the customer is the hero of your story. Now, I know this one is a little tough one for a lot of us. Why? Because we all have been raised like princes and princesses. We're always used to being the center of the universe. But for your stories, the customer is the main character, and you're only the guide that helps your customer solve their problems. So when you tell that story, tell it much more from the perspective of the customer. Another element of great storytelling. Your story should be about a specific person, not a company. Now, we as humans, we care about humans. We don't care about companies. If you tell me a story about this overall company that, I don't know, had some certain problems, I don't care, right? I really don't care. But the moment that you make it about a specific person, I start to care, because I care about the fate of individuals involved. So when you tell your story, tell it from the perspective of a specific person. Maybe the head of purchasing, the COO, the CTO, whoever it is. Tell it from the perspective of a specific person. Another element of great storytelling, your story is relatable. Now, before you share any story and you go into the details, well, you want to be clear of who's actually the buyer that you're trying to influence here. What company do they work for? What industry are they in? What is their size? What interests do they have? Now, once you're clear on that, you can craft a success story that they can actually relate to. Sure, you cannot always tick all the boxes, but at least try to tick a few of them. If you actually share something that is completely irrelevant to your customer, well, it can have the opposite effect. So pick something that your customer can relate to. All right, to recap, what makes a great customer success story? First, the customer is the hero, not you. Second, make it about a specific person, not a company. And third, it's relatable. Now, with that said, that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and also to turn on the notification bell. But actually, there's one more thing. We've just published our newest story selling masterclass. If you want to learn the 3-step formula of how to build a connection with anyone without ever having to talk about the weather, well, check it out. Check out the link in the description below and find this amazing resource to help you transform your storytelling skills. Wherever you are, happy storytelling.